The impact of anxiety on daily life. Ever wondered how it can impact your daily life? It's a force that subtly infiltrates, shaping our routines and interactions ways we may not even realize. From the moment we wake up, anxiety can cast a shadow over our day, affecting our focus at work, our patience with loved ones, and even our ability to enjoy simple pleasures. Anxiety is a natural response to stress, an alarm system of sorts, alerting us to potential danger. But when this alarm rings incessantly, it can become debilitating, transforming into anxiety crisis. A persistent sense of worry can lead us to second-guess ourselves constantly, draining our energy and dampening our spirits. It can strain our relationships as we may become irritable or withdrawn, and it can hinder our performance at work as it becomes harder to concentrate or make decisions. Understanding the impact of anxiety is the first step towards managing it better. Recognizing its presence in our lives allows us to address it head-on, equipping us with the tools to navigate its challenges. Introduction to anxiety crisis. So, what exactly is an anxiety crisis? Now, this is a term that gets thrown around a lot. What does it truly mean? An anxiety crisis, sometimes also known as a panic attack, is a sudden surge of overwhelming fear and anxiety that peaks within minutes. It's like a storm that erupts out of the blue, leaving you shaken and gasping for breath. The symptoms can vary from person to person, but they are often intense and frightening. They may include a racing heart, sweating, trembling, a feeling of impending doom, or even a fear of losing control. It's not uncommon to feel like you're having a heart attack or that you're going to die. Yes, it's scary, but here's the silver lining. Recognizing these signs is your first step towards managing an anxiety crisis. It's like seeing the storm clouds gather before the rain comes. Knowing what an anxiety crisis looks like can help you prepare for it. Things to avoid during an anxiety crisis. If you're in the middle of an anxiety crisis, there are certain things you should steer clear of. Firstly, avoid the temptation to blame yourself. Anxiety is not your fault. It's a health issue, just like a cold or a broken arm. Self-blame can spiral into a vicious cycle of negativity, making anxiety symptoms more intense. Instead, try to practice self-compassion and understand that it's okay to struggle sometimes. Next, avoid isolation. While it can be tempting to withdraw from others when you're feeling anxious, this can often make things worse. Humans are social creatures, and connections with others can provide comfort and support during tough times. If you don't feel like talking, that's okay. Just being in the presence of someone you trust can sometimes make a world of difference. Now on to caffeine and alcohol. Both substances can have a significant impact on your anxiety. Caffeine can increase heart rate and stimulate the nervous system, which can mimic or exacerbate anxiety symptoms. On the other hand, while alcohol might seem like it helps in the short term, it can actually increase anxiety levels once the initial effects wear off. So, it might be a good idea to limit your intake of these substances, especially during an anxiety crisis. Lastly, don't ignore the problem. It's easy to push anxiety to the back of your mind, hoping it'll go away on its own. But ignoring it often gives it more power. Instead, acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel anxious. It's a normal human emotion. By acknowledging it, you take away some of its power and make it easier to manage. Remember, everyone's experience with anxiety is different. What works for one person may not work for another. But understanding what can exacerbate your anxiety is the first step towards managing it. Avoiding these things can help you manage your anxiety more effectively. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more tips on managing anxiety. Strategies for managing anxiety. So, what can you do to manage your anxiety? Well, let's dive into some effective strategies that can help you navigate through the turbulent waves of anxiety. First and foremost, relaxation techniques can be a powerful ally. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or yoga can help you calm your mind and body. Just like tuning a musical instrument, these techniques can help you tune your nervous system, reducing the intensity of anxiety. Moving on, regular exercise is another great tool in your arsenal against anxiety. It's not just about burning calories or building muscles. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins, the so-called feel-good hormones. These can help counteract anxiety by enhancing your sense of well-being. Whether it's a brisk walk in the park, a quick swim, or a vigorous gym session, find a form of exercise that you enjoy. Next up is maintaining a healthy diet. What you put into your body can influence how you feel. Consuming balanced meals rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains can provide your body with the nutrients it needs to cope with stress. On the other hand, try to limit foods and drinks that can trigger anxiety, like caffeine or sugar-loaded treats. And of course, don't hesitate to seek professional help if you're struggling. Therapists, psychologists, and psychiatrists are trained to help you understand and manage anxiety. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for instance, has been shown to be particularly effective in treating anxiety disorders. Remember, there's no shame in seeking help. It's just another form of self-care. Lastly, it's important to stress that there's no one-size-fits-all solution. The key is to experiment with different strategies and discover what works best for you. You might find that a combination of techniques is most effective, or that some methods work better at different times or in different situations. Remember, it's not about eliminating anxiety, but learning how to manage it. And with these strategies in your toolkit, you're well equipped to do just that. Recap and final thoughts. Let's quickly recap what we've discussed today. We started off by talking about the significant impact anxiety can have on our daily lives, from disrupting our routines to affecting our interactions with others. We then delved into the concept of an anxiety crisis, a heightened state of distress that can be quite overwhelming. From there, we moved on to discuss the things to avoid during such a crisis. We emphasized how important it is to steer clear of isolation, negative self-talk, and avoidance of the situation causing the anxiety. Finally, we shared some strategies for managing anxiety. We talked about the power of deep breathing, the benefits of mindfulness, and the importance of maintaining a balanced lifestyle. These are not quick fixes, but rather tools that can aid in reducing the intensity and frequency of anxiety crises over time. Remember, it's okay to ask for help. You're not alone in your journey to manage anxiety.